Cyprus, the island of contrasts. Welcome to Cyprus, an island that feels like a riddle wrapped in sunshine. Imagine a place where one country lives as two, where British flags still wave over military enclaves, where maps look like spaghetti, and where your Uber driver might actually give up trying to cross town. This is Cyprus: beaches and barricades, olive groves and outposts, temples and trenches. Where on earth is it? Cyprus sits at the crossroads of three continents: Europe, Asia, and Africa. Just south of Turkey, west of Syria and Lebanon, and north of Israel and Egypt, it's in one of the most strategic spots in the Mediterranean. For millennia, empires have fought to control it, and today, that legacy is still written across its borders. From space, Cyprus looks calm, a golden island with a long eastern tail pointing toward the Levant. But zoom in on a political map, and you'll find a checkerboard of jurisdictions, a UN buffer zone cutting across the middle, two British military bases occupying prime coastal land, a northern state recognized only by Turkey, and a southern republic recognized by everyone else. The Great Divide. Since 1974, Cyprus has been split in two. The south, home to Greek Cypriots, about 60% of the island. The north, controlled by Turkish Cypriots, about 36% of the island. The rest, about 4%, belongs to the UN peacekeeping buffer zone and two British sovereign base areas, Akrotiri and Dhekelia. The UN buffer zone, often called the Green Line, runs 180 kilometers across the island. It's not just a fence, it's a four-layered system of barbed wire, watchtowers, and checkpoints, sometimes only meters apart. Strangely, entire villages and farms exist inside the zone, like frozen time capsules where UN soldiers patrol alongside grazing goats. Nicosia, the capital, is the most dramatic symbol of division. It's the last divided capital in the world, with checkpoints cutting through its old Venetian walls. The Ledra Street crossing is now a pedestrian walkway where tourists line up for passport checks in the middle of a shopping district. Just a few blocks away, abandoned houses sit in no man's land, bullet holes still marking the walls. Exclaves, enclaves, and headaches. As if the island weren't complicated enough, it also has exclaves and military corridors. The British bases are technically pieces of the UK in the Mediterranean, complete with their own schools, police, and radio stations. Dhekelia is especially odd. It slices through Cypriot territory and surrounds three small Cypriot villages that officially belong to the Republic of Cyprus but are cut off by British land. Then there's Kokina, a tiny northern Cypriot military exclave completely surrounded by southern territory, supplied by sea and guarded fiercely. Add to that the Akna Road corridor connecting Dhekelia to its inland station, and Cyprus starts to feel like a giant geopolitical jigsaw puzzle. Nature and climate. Despite its tangled borders, Cyprus is breathtaking. It has over 300 days of sunshine a year, making it one of the sunniest places in Europe. Summers are hot and dry, winters mild with occasional snow in the mountains. The island is defined by two ranges. The Troodos Mountains in the southwest, home to Mount Olympus, 1,952 meters, dotted with Byzantine monasteries, frescoed churches, and even a ski resort in winter. The Kyrenia Mountains in the north, a dramatic limestone ridge running parallel to the coast, topped by medieval castles like St. Hilarion and Buffavento, which inspired fairy tales and legends. Between them lies the Mesoria Plain, the island's breadbasket. Seasonal rivers run through it, dry in summer but alive after winter rains. Water scarcity has always been a challenge, so dams and desalination plants are essential today. Agriculture and economy. The split of 1974 divided the island's farmland. The north kept much of the citrus, grains, and tobacco. The south took most of the vineyards, vegetables, and orchards. Cyprus is proud of its wines, especially Commandaria, considered the world's oldest named wine still in production, dating back 5,000 years. Olives, figs, and halloumi cheese are also staples. In fact, halloumi is so iconic that both the North and South claim ownership, and the EU had to register it as a protected product for the whole island. Tourism is the other major industry. Every year, millions of visitors arrive to lounge on beaches like Aia Napa and Protaras, explore archaeological sites in Paphos, or hike among wild orchids in Troodos. The island also punches above its weight in shipping and finance, thanks to its strategic location and English-speaking workforce. People and culture. Cyprus has about 1.2 million residents. Roughly 77% are Greek Cypriots, 18% Turkish Cypriots, and 5% belong to minorities, Armenians, Maronites, Latins, Russians, Brits, and a surprising Vietnamese community. The South identifies strongly with Greek culture and the Orthodox Church. The North aligns with Turkey and Islam, though in practice, most Turkish Cypriots live secular lives, women rarely wear headscarves, and nightlife is lively. Both sides, however, share a love for meze, endless small plates of food, strong coffee, and a relaxed Mediterranean rhythm. Cypriot Greek and Cypriot Turkish are peppered with loan words from each other, as well as Arabic, Italian, and English. English itself is everywhere, a remnant of British colonial rule. Around 80% of Cypriots speak it, making it the unofficial bridge language of the island. A history of conquerors. Cyprus has one of the most turbulent histories in the Mediterranean. The island has been ruled by the Mycenaean Greeks, who introduced language and religion. The Assyrians, Egyptians, and Persians in turn. Alexander the Great and the Hellenistic kingdoms. The Romans, who left theaters, aqueducts, and mosaics. The Byzantines, who fortified it with castles and monasteries. The Arabs, who raided and settled. The Crusaders and French Lusignans, who brought Gothic cathedrals. The Venetians, who built the walls of Nicosia and Famagusta. The Ottomans, who ruled for 3 centuries. Finally, the British, who made it a crown colony until independence in 1960. Independence was fragile. Tensions between Greek and Turkish communities escalated until 1974, when a coup backed by Athens attempted to unite Cyprus with Greece. Turkey responded with a military intervention, occupying the north. Ever since, the island has remained divided, with endless negotiations for reunification stalling. Friends and allies. Cyprus's friendships depend on which side you ask. The north leans on Turkey and, by extension, Turkey's allies like Azerbaijan and Pakistan. The south turns to Greece, its cultural sibling, and to the EU, of which it has been a member since 2004. It also has close ties with Israel and Armenia. Both communities, however, share pride in their island identity. Many young Cypriots feel the division belongs to older generations and see themselves first and foremost as Cypriots, not just Greeks or Turks. Conclusion. Cyprus is a contradiction, divided yet shared, ancient yet modern, a place where Aphrodite was said to be born and where UN soldiers now patrol. It's a land of monasteries and mosques, vineyards and beaches, castles and casinos. Yes, the maps are confusing. Yes, the politics are frustrating. But beyond the barbed wire lies an island full of charm, resilience, and beauty. And who knows? Maybe one day the green line will vanish, leaving behind not checkpoints, but a united island ready to write its next chapter together.